Hi there and welcome to your yoga class. Today we are doing an IT band class. Now, the IT band is a big bit of connective tissue that runs from your hip right down to your knee and kind of connects onto your shin bone as well, and it can get very tight if you run or walk a lot. So this is specifically targeting that. We're going to start in downward dog today. So just take it easy, pedal those feet out and even bend your knees. Remember, having that nice straight back is really good, and then in time you can straighten out your legs, but the heels don't need to come to the floor. And what we're going to do is take the left foot forward a bit and bend the knee. Okay, position the right foot at about 45 degrees, then wrap the toes of the left foot around the shin. And what we're looking for is a lovely stretch on the IT band, so from the hip to the knee of the right leg. And you can raise that right hip as much as you can, maybe even raise the right shoulder, but sort of shuffle about until you feel that nice big stretch from the hip right down the quad. And we're going to do the other side. So this time the right foot steps in a wee bit, knee bent. The left foot is about 45 degrees, and wrap the toes of the other foot around that left leg. And remember, you can raise the left shoulder, raise the left hip, and try and keep the left leg nice and straight until you feel that nice big stretch down the outside of the thigh, if you're not entirely sure where the IT band is. But it's really the outside of the thigh right down to your knee. And everybody is made a little bit differently, so please do shuffle about if you need to. So coming back to downward dog and just stretching it out. So walking up to your hands, keep your hands on the floor, feet hip width apart, and just coming into a nice forward fold with your knees bent, nice and gently lengthening the spine. And then what we're going to do is take our right foot behind our left, bend those knees, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to try, you should be feeling this on your right leg, and walk your hands over left as well, if that helps. So it's the nice big stretch you're trying to feel again, just as long as you're trying to focus on where you're trying to feel it, the outside. So coming back to the middle again, and then we need to do the other side. So left foot behind this time. You can keep your hands straight, or you can walk them over, so on your left leg this time, and bend the right knee, but keep the left leg straight. And again, these things can take a little bit of adjustment, that's okay. Adjust until you can feel the stretch. Coming back to the beginning now, we're just going to roll right up, nice and slowly, and stand at the top of your mat. So here we're going to come into a figure 4 stretch. So that right ankle comes over just above the left knee. Keep that foot flexed, and you're just going to slightly squat down. Don't squat if you can't manage it. And when you're steady, put your hands into prayer position. You should feel this really deep into your hip, and squat as much as you want to, as much as you can. You can hold on to something as well if the balance is really an issue. I'll show you from the side here. So you're coming down, keeping it flexed, and you can put your hands on the floor as well. That takes it a bit deeper, so see how it feels. You might want to put your hands to the floor or stay where you are, and just remember to breathe deeply. It's a nice big deep stretch, this one. So very slowly coming back up, take your time. That's it, and then come back to a downward dog, stretch it out. Remember, hands are shoulder width apart, feet are hip width apart, pedal them if you want to. Try and pushing your chest to the floor, looking back between your legs. Then come forward to a plank, put your knees down if you need to, and then lowering down to chaturanga and hovering there if you can. Top of the feet on the floor and coming to upward dog or cobra. Tucking your toes again and coming back up to downward facing dog. Always walking the dog and pedaling the feet if you need to. So walking to the top of the mat again, folding forward, nice on a nice exhale, and then bending the knees and tucking the core and rolling up really nice and slow. And we're going to do that figure 4 stretch to to the other side this time. So left foot this time. Remember, and keep that foot flexed. Come down as much as you can. You might want to stay standing up, or you might come down to here, or put your hands on the floor. See what feels good for you, but you should be feeling it right deep in the hip and that IT band as well, of course. Keep the breathing going when the stretching gets quite tough. Remember to keep the breathing going. I know it can be quite uncomfortable. So starting to think about coming back up again. Remember, come really slowly, because we are in these stretches for a little bit longer. We're maybe used to coming from stretch to stretch, come back to downward dog again and stretch it out. You know, we maybe spend a couple of breaths in each stretch, but we are spending a little bit longer in these stretches today, and that is because the IT band is connective tissue or fascia, and by spending a little bit longer in the pose, it helps us access that connective tissue and fascia a little bit more. So we are pausing in the poses a little bit longer, and we're just going to come down to our knees now, and we're going to come into Gomukhasana, a cow face pose. Okay, so you're going to have your left knee sort of pointing to the top of your mat, and then cross your right leg over as if you're trying to make your knees stack. Now they might not stack, okay, but as long as you're kind of on your way there, and you're going to place your hands on top of your knees. Push your knees gently away and tuck your core and curl your spine in. Okay, you're trying to get a wee bit of length in there now, but we're not forcing those knees down. We're just gently sort of applying a little bit of pressure to them, because you will feel anyway, without even doing this, you'll feel that big stretch in your hip and along your IT band with the position of that top foot. So this is just making it a little bit more, and this then we're going to come fold forward. Now at this point you can rest your head on it. I just like to rest my head on my knees, but by the same token you can stay sitting up. It's absolutely fine, because you're already getting that stretch in your hips and your IT band as well. So don't worry too much, just do what you can. Taking nice deep breaths, remembering we are pausing for a little bit longer in these poses, accessing those deeper tissues, and hopefully taking out any tension or anything that can be causing the tightness, because we can get knee issues and things like that as well when we've got a very tight IT band. And just one screen wipe of the legs when you're coming out of that there. Nice to just reset the hips doing that. And we need to do the other side, of course. So right knee to the top of the mat, left knee right over. I'll show you side on this time, and the feet can be quite close to the body here. So nice straight back, hands on the knees again, and you're pushing and then sort of tucking in your core. Okay, getting a lovely big stretch on that top leg. Staying here for a few breaths. And then straightening up, hands onto the mat, and just walking forward, folding forward. And remember, this is optional, you can stay sitting up, but curving the spine over. We don't have to have a straight spine. Resting your head, coming far forward as you're going to come. I like to place the top of my hands on the mat, just so that it's not as if you shouldn't be bracing yourself. This should be pretty passive. But it is a deep stretch, and we are here for a few breaths, so breathe into it nice and deep. So just starting to walk your hands towards yourself, coming back up. And let's do that windscreen wiper again. It's really nice, especially after that sort of deep stretch, to just reset. It can feel quite nice and soothing. So if you have a strap handy, grab it. Now you don't have to have a strap, you can have a jumper, anything like that. What we're going to do is lie down on our backs, okay, and come into that reclined pigeon pose. So your right leg is over your left knee, but you're going to roll over towards the left so that your right foot is on the floor, okay. Bit of a strange position, but again you should feel this really specifically actually in that IT band in your right hand side, and you can hold on to your foot with your left hand, or you can sort of push the thigh away. Again, a wee bit of adjustment. If you've not done this before, you might have to adjust a little bit to get that stretch, okay. But if you start in reclined pigeon pose and then just roll over and put your foot on the floor, then you can't go wrong. Staying here for a breath or two. And then we're going to come up, do the other side. So this time the left ankle gets crossed over, foot flexed, push the knee away, and then rolling on so that that left foot comes flat to the floor. Try and keep your shoulder blades on the floor as well. I know it can be quite tough. And again, you can hold on to that left foot with the right hand, or you can push your thigh away. Adjust as you need to until you feel it on the outside of that thigh. So coming back to the middle and getting hold of your strap, if you've got it, doesn't need to be a strap, belt, anything at all, jumper if you've got nothing else. Lay the left leg long and pop the strap around the ball of that right foot. Now the foot doesn't need to be completely straight, okay, the leg doesn't need to be completely straight. Hold on to the strap with your left hand, and what you're going to do is bring it across your body as if you're trying to get it to the floor on the other side, but keep the shoulder blades in the floor. So if it doesn't reach the floor, that's absolutely fine, but you'll find this is a very big stretch on the outside of your leg. So I'd rather you kept the shoulder blades on the floor rather than having the foot on the floor. And you will come onto your side, you will be rolling onto your hips there. And again, keep adjusting as you need to. You can have a bend in that knee, especially if you're hypermobile, or we don't want any injuries here. We're just trying to focus on that IT band on the outside of the thigh. And you're getting a lovely twist here as well. Added bonus, you're getting a lovely twist to the spine. Internal organs are getting a really nice massage as well. And just breathing into it. So time for the other foot. Bring the left foot up, pop it in where the right one was, and the right leg is long. Get yourself nice and comfortable. And then you're going to hold the strap in your right hand and let your leg come over to the right. Remembering those shoulder blades in the floor, other hands can be in a sort of T position, out to the side. Doesn't need to reach the floor. Shoulder blades on the floor, and as long as you're feeling the big stretch and a lovely twist as well. So coming back up, letting go, just popping your strap into the side there. You can bring your knees into your chest and have a lovely old squeeze there of the knees. Do whatever you like to stretch off at this point. And then we're going to have a very short shavasana, or if you're going on to do other things, you can go on and do that and have your shavasana at the end. So lying out on your mat, nice and comfortably, just for a little minute or so's rest. Feet at the outside edge of the mat, relaxing, feeling still for just a little minute, and you feel free to stay here as long as you like. Just relaxing into the mat. It can be anything from 2 minutes to 20 minutes, but other than that, if you wriggle your fingers and your toes and just bend your knees and coming up nice and slowly from the floor, rolling onto your side first and then coming right up and sitting in a nice cross-legged position with your hands at your heart. Thank you so much for joining me today for our very short practice, and we'll finish with a namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like the video and subscribe, and then you'll get all the new releases that come out of all the yoga videos, and I'll see you again soon for your next class.